So today I would like to go through some of the review problems from Concept 4. All right, so I'm going to go through two of these problems. Out of the review problems, you'll see problems 1 through 10 are all very similar, just finding the x and y intercepts. And then problem 11 is saying identify the x and y intercepts for each graph. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15. So I know that the formatting for this is not the greatest because the graphs are kind of big and they can't fit more than one on a page, but know that 11 through 15 is finding the x and y intercepts based on a graph. So I'm going to go through a couple of problems using the algebra behind it, and then maybe I'll go through problem 11 where you have the picture of the graph and you're identifying them that way. So let's go through problem number 1. We have 3x plus 4y equals 12. First, we want to find the x-intercept. So I'm going to label this. When you're doing this, you should always be labeling your work so you know what it is that you're actually calculating at within your work. And then it's a little bit easier to look back on and navigate. Finding the x-intercept means we are plugging 0 in for y and solving for x. So what that work looks like is we're going to have 3x plus 4 times 0 because we're plugging 0 in for y, and that equals 12. Solving for x, 4 times 0 is really just 0, so I'm left with 3x equals 12. I'm going to divide by 3 to get x by itself because that's the opposite operation of multiplication, and I get x equals 4. So I know that my x-intercept is when x is equal to 4. Next, I'm going to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for x. So 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 12. 3 times 0 is just 0, so I have 4y equals 12. I'm going to divide both sides by 4 because that's the inverse operation of multiplication. And I get y is equal to 3, and that is my y-intercept. You could write these answers as ordered pairs, or just writing them x equals and y equals is fine as well. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging so I can fit more than one problem on this page that I have. All right, so now let's do another one. How about number 7? All right, so let's do number 7. Number 7 says negative 3x plus y equals 9. And again, I want to find the x and y intercepts. So just as the same process I used above, first I'm going to find x-intercept. So I'm going to plug I'm going to plug 0 in for y. Here, plugging 0 in for y just means I'm plugging 0 in, and it looks like this, where I have negative 3x plus 0 equals 9. That means I have negative 3x equals 9. Solving for x, I'm going to divide by the number being multiplied in front of it, which is negative 3. And that's going to give me x equals negative 3. And that is my x-intercept. Then I'm going to go through and find my y-intercept by plugging 0 in for x. So negative 3 times 0 plus y equals 9. Negative 3 times 0 is just 0, so I end up with y equal to 9. Now this is unique because usually we have a number in front of y, a coefficient is the technical name for it, that we would then divide over to solve for y, but here there is no number, so we're just left with y equals 9, and that is our y-intercept. Next, let's take a look at number 11. There's no work that really needs to be done. The focus on problems 11 through 15 is really just making sure that you can read the graph correctly. So first, identifying the x-intercept, meaning we want to look on the graph and see where does it cross the x-axis. Well, it crosses the x-axis when x is equal to 2. And the y-intercept, where does it cross the y-axis? That would be right here. That's when y is equal to 3. If you were to write these as ordered pairs versus x equals or y equals, the x-intercept would be written as 2, 0, and the y-intercept would be written as 0, 3. Okay, where there's a comma in between them. All right, so these are 3 of the review problems. If there's any others that you would like me to go through, or if you still have additional questions, please just send me an email or post a comment on our Google Classroom. Thank you.